And so we're back with more Chinabue, and things have taken a turn, haven't they? Rika has willingly taken off her own eye patch after being forcibly being persuaded to. If this was the real world, then yeah, maybe I'd be in that camp of saying, it might be for the best. But this being a show that I somewhat enjoy, I don't want to lose a character that is quite out there. So really, it's now seeing what the fallout of this decision will be. Let's get to it. Is that true? Oh, luggage fees that heavy? The thing she's been holding over him for a while. But she has no need for it, really, anymore. So, you make one person happy. What was with the eyes just now? Oh, of course. If she's losing her sister for a questionable amount of time, if she's going overseas to work. Oh yeah, with their divorce and whatnot. We always do these time skips where it's like, I'd like to know the immediate kind of fallout, but you've just been sitting in your house for 3 weeks and nothing's happened. I mean, it's difficult to do it in many other ways because some things takes time to surface. And yeah, I'm just ambivalent about the entire situation. I'm not entirely sure what I think. But with the sister now moving off, you don't have that impending sense of danger of being hit with a spoon anytime soon, but you do have a somewhat grounded sense of normality that has been removed. I use the term normality quite loosely there, though. But we'll see if it's for the benefit or the detriment of those two, won't we? Why is she so nervous? Well, she didn't have this almost social anxiety before, really, did she? Having to adjust to the real world. In what ways? That's the best one so far, but yeah, it's not like she has to change everything. I mean, it might be too big of a jump in one go. How long were you waiting there? I wonder how close to the truth she was with that statement. Be careful there, yeah. Yeah, don't climb on the railings. It's gonna take a bit more than that to drag her back. Ooh, nice transition. When you're holding on to something that deeply, but Rika didn't exactly seem happy about it. And once again, it seems like it's going to be left on his shoulders to work out. I mean, the responsibility is somewhat his, but he, once again, Ishiki being quite intense. Was she though? She has a very good ability of understanding her surroundings while asleep. I mean, the class has been going for a while, so that's kind of a weird statement just out of nowhere, but she's been eating alone for a while, hasn't she? For the most part. You not convinced? Are you gonna be the voice of... I don't know, is it reason? Or... well, make people... happy, that's what she's about. But what do you and what does she think? Granted, it probably inconvenienced those around her less, but... what about just toning it down slightly rather than just all out cold turkey? Yeah, you're quite... quite unsure what to do with yourself now, aren't you? Though, what's going to happen to the club now that the one of the founding members has... He can't let too many people in on what he's doing. You're getting drawn in. Well, you can still like pebbles and whatnot, no matter what your age or... But the luminescence isn't too bad. And this is where you make her cry. I mean... I kind of foresaw that, but... You'd have to close the club or so, you just repurpose it. She's not handling things great, is she? It definitely means a lot to her, though, doesn't it? But she's invested quite a lot of time, and it's like almost giving up her friendship. Even with someone that she quote unquote hates, sometimes is all you really need. In okay. Cleaning up isn't too bad. As long as it isn't just for the sake of it and you're chucking everything. He can't start getting distracted by stuff that he finds interesting now to prove a point. I mean, there's a difference between mess that you need to clear up and just chucking all of your shit. I mean, you're allowed ornaments and stuff. Or am I wrong here? It's definitely cleaner, but I want a giant turtle. She's really being obstinate. It is kind of ingenious packaging, I'll give you that. She's looking at things objectively now, isn't she? It's only relatively recently that you've come to terms with stuff like that. That is a difficult one for him to answer. Just like her giving up everything that she's been holding on to for however long. Is it moving too fast? I mean, accepting things is nice and all, but yeah, I think him sitting there in silence for 30 seconds or whatnot is pretty adequate for... I mean, who would know what really to advice to give to her right there? Well, anyone competent probably would be able to do something. What is what she wants to do? You don't even seem interested in that. Running back without everything. Oh. What happened to the cat? Is she going to get a ride with Cumin and have a bit of a talk? Because her situation is kind of like his in a way, where he was trying to get rid of all of his stuff, but hers is more forcefully. And he did have fun. Sometimes growing up is a bit overrated, I must admit. Is that what she thinks kind of needs to be said rather than what she actually thinks? Doing what other people think is expected of you. Well, Rika has seemed very subdued compared to her usual personality. You can keep your personality without going overboard like this. You gotta love the instrumental music though. Quite intense. It's like she's a boss battle in Dark Souls or something. And you're just leaving her there like that. Putting on a feigned smile. You see, going to see her grave, I'm sure he could get some time off to accompany for that. Just for moral support. She's trying to be normal, isn't she? Yep, there we go. What good will it do? Bit harsh, but technically correct. Yes, she probably does need to hear this, but he's being a bit harsh about it. Taking out his frustrations on her is a bit unfair. Now I'm along with fixing everything he has to go now apologise to her as well. Hmm. So what's he going to do in this situation? There was a lot of melancholy in that one, and I'm glad I was prepared for it. And it only took a single episode for him to be like, oh, wow, she took an eye patch off. We're getting somewhere. To, oh, damn. That's not what I wanted. And after, what, 4 or so episodes of not acting on anything? Basically, how things like this work is that anything with moderation is usually fine. You don't have to give all of her ideals up and just to conform, just to appease everyone else. Sometimes you need to live with thinking about you in mind slightly. Sure, you can agree with society and tone down things just to make it easier on yourself. Nothing always has to be a fight, but you should at least talk about something. I know that none of them are very good at sharing emotions, and I am not really one to speak in those regards. But did she kind of ask for help, though? Did she ask him what she should do? I can't remember if I'm making that up. Maybe I was coming up with alternate situations in my head while it was playing. But once again, it's like she cleared out her room because that's what she assumed her mother would like, rather than actually waiting to see what. She might have been relatively fine with a lot of this stuff, and as long as she kept it clean. I kind of feel like Libertani is maybe going to comprise her role of the Forest Summer? Summer Forest? One of the two. And, like, you get it all back to reasonable at some point. Her character is basically a female version of him, because getting rid of the past while still being a relatively voice for reason. And then you got Ishiki, who's just basically the same. His emotional support and comic relief for stuff that doesn't involve the 8th grader syndrome at all. All the other stuff of high school life, you can rely on Ishiki. Which is a horrifying thought. But then again, thinking of some advice and stuff that I've probably received from high school friends, yeah, sometimes it's not helpful. Even now, it's not helpful. I mean, look at my advice. God help anyone who actually takes it. And I've stated before, but yeah, I'm feeling ambivalent. I think that's the correct word anyway. About Rika's going and seeing her father's grave, because granted it's something that she needs to do, but at the same time she's not in the right state right now to do it. But it's being pushed upon her because she's regained this, in their eyes at least, a sense of normality. So I'm both kind of pleased that she's at least trying to step up, but I'm very apprehensive. Still, there's some good animation and music in this one, so you gotta enjoy that sometimes. When it allows. And I still want to try, like, proper convenience store onigiri. I mean, I've made some for myself, but it's not quite the same, is it? And with his current confusion of what to do, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a reoccurrence of what we've seen before, but this time, instead of catching the train with her, is he going to take one after and just force himself to be there and do something? Because it's been raised, I don't think it's going to be another, like, 2 weeks later kind of inaction. Still, things are getting intense, and let's go into that. I know that Jinview is somewhat coming to an end, but there are more, and there's a movie as well, and something like that. So I am unsure what to do. This is where I need your help. If you've reached this far in the video, you can probably do something now. If you want to head over to my Discord using the link in the description, there'll probably be a vote going on where you can help me choose. Do you want to see more? Or do you want to take a break and see something a bit different? Now, with my current way of doing things, I think I want to see something along the same lines. So maybe a comedy, slice of life, or maybe even another romance type show. Maybe. Sign up to the server, check it out, and if it's not up there, pester me until it is. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please let me know. Liking the video, commenting down below is a great way to actually help it succeed. And if you want to do one step better, you can subscribe to the channel. But all in all, things have taken quite a heavy turn, so I hope you're all good. You might want to get some rest. See you in the next one.